Hey y'all, Noni here. Welcome back to my channel. You can call me Noni. I'll just tell you in advance, this video might stop in the middle of me talking, and if it does, I'm just gonna put it out there and call it a day. I attempted a video a couple days ago and everything was going fine, and then it just said, you don't have enough storage. So I've been going through lately and getting rid of a lot of videos, because that seems to be, because when you have grandkids, you're gonna take a bazillion pictures, and I have like 400 videos. So but today I'm talking, as you can see, I'm quite lethargic. I'm not feeling that great mentally, emotionally, physically. I just want to talk about like the perils of having a job when you are when you have a chronic illness, especially working from home. Like, it's almost worse. Even though I have an invisible illness, like you can't see it. So yeah, I could be faking it all, except of course I have all the doctor's notes and procedures and lab tests and all that, but still. Where was I going with this? Shit, I don't know. And I hate the angle of this fucking phone. Like, I should just change my fucking channel to Triple Chin City. Anyway. But even though I have an invisible illness, hold on, putting on my pain patch, not fentanyl. Okay, and just to touch on that fentanyl thing real quick, I only say that so that I won't be judged, because a lot of addicts use fentanyl. And I certainly do not judge those with chronic illnesses that have to use fentanyl. Absolutely not. Like, you use whatever you gotta use to get through the damn day. Anyway, so I got this new job, as you know. I was a little apprehensive at first because it's a sales job, which I haven't done in many years. I had like 20 years of experience, and it was great while it lasted. It's exciting, it's invigorating. Like, the days go by so fast, and just the sheer, like, helping someone with a customer support issue. Oh, sure, you want me to get you that report or get you that doctor's name? Here, no problem. That's fine, but it's not any great feat. But like, convincing a company to spend, and it's not just, software sales that I've done. Like, I used to sell Remicade, and that was like $1 million. So you get something from that. Like, there's commission and incentives and bonuses, and like, I got a commission of like $200 something on my first month, which was great. Like, for me as a salesperson, I don't even think about the bonus money or the commission that I have coming, because I don't want to include that into my budget. I just want to base my budget, my household budget, on what I make as a base, and then anything else is gravy, right? So but ever since I started this job, and just keep in mind, I was out of work for an entire year, and I did a lot of resting, mentally and emotionally and physically. I did all the resting. And it really did my body good. Like, I didn't have insurance. And there were probably some things I could have gone to the doctor for, but I was like, we'll see how I do. Like, I can put up with a lot of pain, especially if I have my pain meds. So, it is what it is. Like, sorry, hold on. I'm trying to cross my legs. It's not easy to do. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Hi. So, where was I? I'm sorry. I had kind of a panic attack at work, and I took some Xanax, because I'd already cried. I'll take you there in a minute. So anyway, I do feel blessed that I have a job, so I'm very thankful for that. I feel blessed that it's a job with excellent insurance. It's the best insurance I've ever had, and that's why I'm terrified to lose this job. I don't necessarily care for sales anymore. I really, really, really love client services. I find it so much more rewarding, especially in the health field. Like, that's my jam. Just helping people that really need help, and not people that are just like, oh, my t-shirt order's late, that kind of thing. I really want to help people, and so client services is my, dream job in the healthcare industry, and I really hope I get to get back to that someday. But so try as I might, our metrics, our call volume that we're supposed to meet every single day is 150 calls, and I am on the struggle bus with this. I got that from Mary on Peter and Fry. I'm sure she's not the one that made it up, but still, she's where I got it from. She also has a chronic illness. She has cystic fibrosis. It's called The Fry Life. They are absolutely wonderful. I suggest you watch them. They're uber positive, but not, there's positive toxicity. And then for them, it's just like, she'll cry and she'll be sad and she will show her emotions, but then she'll pick herself back up and do what needs to be done. And that's what I like her, because being brave is not crying ever. Being brave is being able to show your emotions and be vulnerable even though you don't know how the other person's going to react, right? And it's very hard, for, harder for others than some. I find it pretty easy. But what was it like? So, okay, in March, I had the whole arm thing going on where, like, I couldn't move my arm. It was, all I could do was hold it up here with a sling. See? Because this part, which I know I've already told some of you this part, this is a burn from a heating pad. This part really hurt to push on it, but the whole shoulder, deep inside, the pain was horrendous. It was I'd rather just die. Just shoot me in the face right now, please. I can't handle another minute of this. I was pacing the floors like a wild animal, just saying, just kill me, I want to die, just kill me. I mean, it was that bad. Obviously my husband wouldn't kill me, so and sorry, he has backed into the sun, as you know he likes to do. So okay, what was I talking about? What was I talking about, guys? Come on. You're gonna have to help too. We can't have a one-way relationship. I need you to tell me what I forgot. Where am I? No? Okay. I'll see what I can do. Okay, so back in February, I had the whole issue with my shoulder. So, of course, that meant spending a lot of days in pain working, while only working with one hand. I only had one hand available to me, because this one I couldn't move. And the orthopedic surgeon couldn't see me for a while. So I finally got to a point where it started ramping up, and I was just screaming and crying, and that's when I was like, just kill me. And so I missed a couple of days of work because of that, because when you're in that much pain, you can't work. Like, what am I going to do? Be in hysterics on the phone with these people? And it's just ludicrous. Like, I couldn't work. I was in far too much agony. Like, when I say level 10 pain, I'm saying level 10 pain. That was the worst shoulder pain I have ever had. I don't like to say worst pain you've ever felt in the world, because there's so many different parts of your body, and some people may say, well, like, the shoulder pain was really, really bad, but childbirth also sucks. There's different categories. So for me, this was a level 10 shoulder pain. So of course I went to the ER. The ER somehow thought it was my heart. I do have heart disease in my family. I am overweight. I am over 50. I had pain on my chest, on my upper back, on all over my shoulder. Really, that's where it was, just right there in my shoulder. And then all the way down my entire arm and into my hand, which of course could indicate a heart attack, but I knew that's not what it was. But anyway, I get there, I tell them about the situation and what I have, which is small fiber neuropathy, which no one's ever heard of. And so they're just like, wah, 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 wah. It's like half the time they don't even believe you. Like, okay, small fiber neuropathy, whatever. It's just diabetic neuropathy, and it'll go away, and it's just in your feet, and you'll be fine, and shut up. you feel like that, or like you're a drug seeker. And I tell them, don't give me drugs. It's going to hurt my tummy. So I went and did that. There's nothing they can do for me. And they did give me a steroid shot, but it was just kind of like in the more of the surface level. Like, she didn't put it up in there. And so whatever it was, like, helped from like when I left the hospital until the next day. And then the next day it was like a nightmare. Finally, I make my way to Dr. Singhal's office, who is a orthopedic surgeon. Have I told y'all this story already? I can't remember. And if you have to re-listen to it, I'm sorry. If any of you have dealt with childhood abuse of any kind, especially sexual abuse, skip ahead. This could be a trigger for you. So, you have till I count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I went to the doctor and I told him about my shoulders, and of course it's rush through the whole thing. And of course I'm on about 20,000 Xanax because I'm so freaked out, because I knew needles would be involved. I knew I would have to get a shot in my shoulder to make it feel better. Like, I couldn't function like that anymore. Honestly, as afraid of needles as I am, I probably would have just said, just cut my arm off at the shoulder. I really don't care anymore. And I hear a lot of people on the group chats for these groups talk about that. Like, sometimes I just want to cut off my hand or cut off my leg. And I wonder if that will stop the nerve pain. Like, if that's going to stop it, I'll do it. I don't care. People are desperate. It's very hard to live in constant pain and not have medicines to your disposal that could eliminate or greatly reduce that pain. So anyway, oh God, where was I again? Damn it. I'm losing my mind. Okay, so I went to the ER. They were like, you're fine. There's nothing we do for you. La, la, la. Your heart. All they did was check my heart. They did an echocardiogram. They did a EK. I think that's the same thing. They did a heart x-ray. They did all these heart blood tests. There was some stuff that came back funky, like a heart failure blood test that was positive. I don't know. But I figure if it was serious enough, they would talk to me about it, right? Like, I would freaking hope so. There's a little birdie. We got little baby birds around here somewhere. Looks like a robin. We need to put more bird seed out here. Oh, you're just so pretty. Anyway. So, so I left the hospital. I had a note. I took it. I didn't take it. I sent it to my boss and I was like, hey, I have a note. This is where I was. I was at the ER. Oh no, I hope everything's okay. Yeah, everything's fine. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. And so I think I ended up missing, like, with my doctor's appointments and all that, like 2.5 days of maybe that way you can see my mouth a little bit. 2 days of what's the word? You know what? You're pissing me off, so we're gonna fix this real quick. Listen. I will kill you. I trust no one, I swear to God. It's obviously, well, it's 7:18, but a lot of people, I guess, are coming home from work. And every car that stops and parks, I'm just like, who are you? What are you doing here? You know, you're here to murder all of us. So, anyway. I know I'm insane. Anyway, what else was I talking about? Oh, yeah. So, I missed about 2 or 3 days of work in March. Now, I started February 15th, and I already missed time in March, which for me, I've always been of the belief that, like, when you start a job, like, you need to go at least 6 months without missing a day. Obviously, is it insinuating? Or we'll just say special circumstances where, like, you know what I mean. Like, if you somehow break your leg on the way to work, you got to go to the ER. But, for me, and as long as I'm feeling okay, if I start a new job, I don't miss a day of work for at least 6 months. Now, the last time I had a job other than my other job that I loved and have been blackballed from, that's right, I said it, blackballed. We'll get into that later. But, unfortunately, this shoulder thing happened and I couldn't control it. Like, so it's frustrating about a chronic illness is you have absolutely no control whatsoever. And usually, like, if you're just a regular person that's sick, you've got, you can either, if you're young enough, just push through it and go to work. It gets harder as you get older, but on some things you can still push through. But when you have a chronic illness, I still push through. Like, there's no days that I feel 100% and like I want to work. You know what I mean? It's just a have to work situation. But, there are days where fuckity fucks of a just really pisses me off. Just really, really, really pisses me off. Wait, what if we go like this and do this? Oh, look, I think we fixed it a little bit. Except I have this sun thing right here going right inside my nose. Hello. Anyway, so, oh my God. Oh, okay. So, I miss those days. Not great, but, so I started in February. We trained for 2 weeks. And the first week, we had that winter storm in Texas, and so what was I saying? Damn it. Oh, my first week, my training was watched on my tiny phone screen because my computer's internet broke down because of Texas and the stupid way they do shit. So, shady way they do shit too. So, I saw it on a tiny little screen, which made absolutely no sense. But, so the first week on first month on the phones, half of that was spent in agonizing pain and still working. And then there were like, I think 3 days, 3 days where it didn't work. Okay. But again, for me, that's really bad for a brand new job. Like, I'd only been working there a month. But I figured, I had top sales, so, having top sales for being in a job where you are in agonizing level 10, well, when I was working, like, level 8 pain, level 10 is what sent me to the hospital. But level 8 is no laughing matter. It's, constantly having to adjust your makeshift thing, whatever they call those things. Having to, put the creams and the ointments on it to try to, hope that works. And, make sure you're taking your meds on time and blah, 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 blah. It was, it's not easy. But, so I didn't hit my call metrics, but I made top sales. Okay, out of all the guys that worked there for well over a year. Okay, these are the top salespeople that got promoted to senior BDR. I got top sales at the least amount of calls. So I was like, okay, well, that's something, and I'm proud of myself for doing that. I swear to God, the sun hates me. There's me baby. Oh, there's me baby girl. Hold on, I'm gonna say hi to her. She's not gonna like it. She's slow as her fault that she takes forever to get out of the car. Hi!
Why are you filming me right now?
Because I'm on YouTube. Say hi, baby.
Hi, baby.
I mean, not. Hi, people.
Hi, people.
That's my baby. Isn't she pretty?
Can we go inside now?
I love you. Did you have a good day? You let her know.
I was
Or
tired.
that's just, it's work. Yeah, work is work. Okay. I love you. Proud of you. Bye. Okay. Anyway. So, then of course, as luck would have it, I don't know why I'm plagued or have the worst luck, or I don't know what it is. But come March, now I went to the hospital where if you don't want to get sick, it's pretty much the worst place to go anyway. But I went and they gave me steroids. And every time I've been given steroids, which do work wonders, normally, these didn't do, like, I only got like 12 hours of solution out of them. But normally, steroids work wonders for me and for anybody like me. But the only problem is they strip you of your immunity. And so I had the babies over for a sleepover because it had been months and months because I started a new job. I hadn't been feeling well. I just had to keep passing up weekends, and it was very upsetting. It was heartbreaking. I cried a lot because this is exactly when I was diagnosed what I did not want to happen. Like, I was so bitter because I found out about Hippo's birth in like February 11th. And he was born in September. So, but I had been diagnosed I already knew something was wrong. And I had been diagnosed in July. So, basically right before he was born, like July, August, and September, I found out that I have small fiber neuropathy, and based on how I was feeling and how progressive it could be, I knew that my grandparenthoodness would not be the magical, just beautiful experience that my mom's was, and that my mother-in-law's was. They were same age I was when they found out they were being grandmas, and they had the kids every weekend. They played with them, took them everywhere. And it was great for them and the kids have such a bond with them. And then, here I am having this thing where there are days where all I can do is lay in bed, even when Henry's there. There are days where I played with him so hard the night before, or for whatever reason, that day's play made me exhausted, where maybe other days it didn't. I couldn't even get out of bed to go with Kelly to drive him back home, which is always so upsetting. Because of course I want to be his favorite grandma. Duh, like everybody does. And if I wasn't sick, I probably would be. But anyway, so then comes March, and because of the steroids, I believe it made me very susceptible to, when I got the babies to spend the night, and it was Hopper's first night to spend the night, which I have been waiting for this for so long. 2 years, and I was so excited. Oh my God, I can't tell you. But those little things were like snot machines. Like, there was just snot and coughing, and all of it was just everywhere, and I was just like, And guess what? On Sunday, I started, like, my body picks it up quick and rolls with it quick. And I don't know if that has anything to do with your metabolism, but I wish my metabolism would get together with my immune system and flip-flop. Like, immune system works slowly, and metabolism is fast, and I don't keep gaining weight. But alas, it's not meant to be. So, I got really sick. Fever, chills, aches. It's like, what is that? I ache all the time anyway. But, aches, coughing, snot, runny nose, congestion, all the wonderful things that you get when you have a cold. But of course, it could be COVID. So I went and got tested, and I was luckily very negative. Well, very negative. I was just negative. What was I gonna say? Now I'm being distracted because there's like all these children playing in front of me with their parents, and I'm so paranoid. These drivers around here will literally go like 35 miles down this. It's just a drive. Hey, mama bird, are you looking for your baby birds? Anyway, it's just like a drive with like speed bumps, and they go 30 or 35. I'm like, what if there's little kids playing around all the time? Like, what if you hit one of them? Do you care? No. So anyway, let me get on with this story. So I got really sick, and one day I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore. I've got to go to Rapid Med now. I have insurance, so let me just go. So I went to a place called Rapid Med, and they checked me for, because, you know, I have chronic Epstein-Barr virus. So they checked me for everything. They checked me for antibodies. Hi, birdie. I want to see the birdie. She's doing something. Can you find your birds? Are you looking for your babies? There was a nest. There's a nest over there. Over there. I know, I saw a nest earlier. I need to get y'all some bird seed. Oh, I hope she finds her babies. Anyway, so, hello, roll up the window. Yes, please. Okay. So, I went to the doctor, and the doctor was like, no, you screwed it. You messed up, girl. You messed up. You got something going on. So I was like, okay, great. But all my tests came back fine. No resurgence of EBV. I still need to go get my reports, though, because they never read those right. I had them check my TSH levels, since I don't ever want to go back to asshole doctor. They checked me for COVID antibodies to see if I ever had it in the past, because, you know, this long COVID thing is a big deal, and it reminds me a lot of chronic EBV, and I definitely don't want to be adding that to the repertoire of my chronic illnesses. So I feel very happy that I have not gotten that yet, or fingers crossed won't ever. Let's see, strep, no. She checked me for everything under the sun, and it all came back negative. And she wrote me a note. I just needed a note to say, hey, I went to the doctor. But she wrote me a note that said, Heather can start work tomorrow. Which most companies are like, no, 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 no. And I didn't ask her to do that. I didn't even notice it till I saw it. And I was like, ooh, this might be a problem. But most companies are like, nope, you can't come in till tomorrow then. You can't work till tomorrow. They don't give a shit. Okay, let me tell you that. So then I spent the rest of the day sitting at my desk, coughing, sneezing, hacking, being exhausted. Now, when you have a body like mine, where it's not cardiovascular. Is it your cardiovascular? Your cardiovascular shit's messed up, and you whatever. When that shit is messed up, then I lost it, guys. I lost it. I don't know where I went. It's gone. So, but I was sitting there all day long. Oh, it makes you exhausted already. Like, you're already in a constant amount of pain. So when you're sitting there coughing and coughing and coughing, it uses a lot of muscles that you don't normally use, and it just caused a lot of exhaustion. I could barely breathe. I could barely speak. Like, my voice was like this. And my boss is like, yeah, no, you're fine. Go ahead. And I'm like, okay. Drink a hot tea. Drink some hot tea, you'll be fine. I wasn't fine. And so I sat there the entire rest of the day. Okay, no breaks, no lunch. And I just hacked away. I laid my head on my table. And I blew my nose. And by the end of the day, I noticed I've only made 20 calls in an 8-hour day. Now, granted, 2 to 3 hours of that was spent at Rapid Med, getting all the shit done, all the blood work done, then getting my prescriptions, la-di-da, stopping to get something to eat, da-da-da. So it was like 3 hours. So really a 5-hour stretch. But in those 5 hours, I realized, I went and ran my numbers, I'd only made 20 calls in a 5-hour time frame. So, and don't ask me why I did this, okay? I'm far too nice of a person to corporations. I felt bad. I wanted to be honest, because I never want people to think that I'm not working, or that I don't respect them, or that I think they're stupid enough to not notice that I just sat there for an entire day and got paid, which I get paid in salary, by the way, and got paid to not, or I got paid to not do my job, essentially. So that made me feel bad. So I emailed my boss, and I just said, hey, and this was the end of the day. So it was like 4:30. I got off at 5:30, and I was like, hey, listen, I'm spent. I'm so sorry. I don't know what else to do, but I have to go lay down because I don't feel good. And you might as well just put me down for a full 8 hours of not being like if I took a full day off, right, of 8 hours. I said, because even though I've been here, I've only made 20 calls, and I know that's not cool. And I have to say, when I said that, my expectation was that there's no way he's going to take me up on that. Like, he's going to have some empathy and sympathy. He heard me coughing. Like, he tried to have an actual conversation with me many times, and he heard me coughing over and over and over again. And to the point, where you're almost vomiting. But to my surprise, he was like, okay, thank you for your honesty. And he put me in for missing a full 8 hours of work. Even though I was there in the morning and I was there for 5 hours. He put me down. I was like, now I know it's my fault because I offered. I understand that completely, and I shouldn't have offered. But I was very worried that they were getting close to firing me, so I was like, I thought it was a show of good faith. Like, hey, I'm willing to be open and honest with you and tell you guys, not make excuses, let you know what's going on. So, of course, I meant from the get-go, I told him about my chronic illness and, that I have issues. So when I finally got done being sick, it took me, I ended up taking like 3 or 4 days off of that. I didn't plan on it, but the fatigue was so real, guys. Like, fatigue has never been one of my biggest. I'm not the Energizer Bunny, okay? Don't get me wrong. I'm not like, oh, go, 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 go. If I was, I'd be doing probably skinny bitch stuff if I had energy. I would assume that means I would have a high metabolism. So, no offenses to y'all skinny bitches. No judgments. That's just what I call skinny bitches. And that's pure out of jealousy. Okay? It's no shade on you. So, okay, anyway. So, that was the whole month of... Okay, so February I got top sales, even though that was all my shoulder pain issues, and I got really sick. And then March, April, March. Okay. So April was the upper respiratory infection. I had to be on all kinds of antibiotics and all this stuff. And I'm still having issues. I don't know if you can tell. And that hurt me quite a bit. And so what happened is we get a certain amount of PTO. You like earn your PTO, or like it accrues on your pay period. So for instance, I don't even know what it is here, but at my last job, like, because I'd been there over 5 years, I accrued like 6 hours and 0.45 something, whatever that means, or 6.25, I don't really know. But I know that the 6 was 6 hours. So every 2 weeks, I would accrue 12 hours, which is more than a day, which is great. But here, I don't know what it is, and I haven't had a chance to accrue that much, because I've only been there February, March to April. Barely, so I've been there 2.5 months. 2.5 months. So, I haven't accrued that much. So, I now have a negative balance of like 5 days. 5 days, which is so much. I'm never gonna work it off. And that's why sick people don't get to take vacations, and it's not fair. We need them the most. Anyway, I'm being whiny. But, so then I got a call or a message from our HR person. Dum, dum, the plot thickens. And I'd never heard from her except for the one time I had a question about insurance. In the past 2 months, I haven't heard from her. And so she's like, hey, I see you have negative PTO. Can we schedule a time to talk about that? And I'm like, sure. Oh my God, I would be so thrilled to. There's the cutest black kitty over there, and I want to steal it. Would that be wrong to steal somebody else's black kitty? I feel like it wants to live with me more, you know? I mean, it crossed the street to my side, so I think that means it does. So she called me, and I hadn't mentioned anything to her about my autoimmune disease. Well, turns out that my manager had. And like, I'm so open about it. So like, it's weird because I can't say that like it truly upset me, but it's like, I don't know. I just don't like the idea of like being talked about in a sense of like, oh my god, she has a chronic illness. Oh my god, great. We get stuck with the one with chronic illness because it's kind of a twofold situation. Like my previous company that I loved working for that let me go because of buying and selling businesses and parts or whatever. I'm still better though. What was I saying about them though? What was my point? Anyway, I don't know. But he had HR call me and basically kind of imply that I am, without saying I'm damaged goods, kind of implied that like I'm damaged goods, and it may not work out. She was like, you know, I see that you're having trouble performing your job duties, and I'm assuming it's because of this chronic illness. And I'm like, well, I can perform my job duties. It's just like, but when I get sick, I get sick. And I was like, there's honestly nothing I can do about it, as I am trapped in this body. If my body says this is what's happening today, then this is what's happening today. And so she was like, okay, well, yeah. And Matt called me and said like, well, you know, when she's here, she's great. And I'm like, oh, great. Well, so he went and talked to HR about me and how shitty I am. So that feels really good. Not. I still managed to get, so my first month I got 8 sales. I got top sales, which nobody fucking mentioned. There was no email. There was no congratulations, Heather. There was nothing. There was nothing at all. There was nothing about a call from my boss like, hey, I just want to say this was your first full month on the phones and you beat everybody for sales. That's fucking awesome. And you did it with less work. Like, I called way less people and got way more sales. And so maybe that's just how I work better. Like, more calls doesn't automatically equal more sales, right? I'm a relationship builder. I'm here to build relationships. I'm not here to just be like, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Like, boom, 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 boom. Plus, all these guys are East Coast. So they talk a mile a minute, which is fine, but that does save time. I don't talk like that. When I call, I might talk to somebody for a few minutes. Building rapport, which is what you do in sales, is very important. And is that causing me to use up more phone time? Building rapport? Sure. Sometimes I don't make sales off those rapport calls, but the sales come in later. I'm playing the long game, which means I'm going to make them fall in love with me. I'm going to make them remember who I'm with. And when they are ready, and I'm not shoving it down their fucking throats that they have to buy this software, they will remember that I dealt with them in a responsible manner, in a respectful manner, in a compassionate and kind manner, and they will buy from me. Other salespeople don't feel that way, and that's fine. But that's how I am. And when I first interviewed, they told me they believe more in the consultative sales approach, which for me at the time, I could hear angels singing behind me like, oh, because that's what I've always looked for. That's what I've always thought of myself as, a consultative sales rep. Like, I don't want to just, you know, just churn sell, and not get any good relationships out of it, not build any relationships out of it. So anyway, after Matt and HR talked, they made it kind of clear to me that, well, let's revisit things in the next 2 weeks, see where your metrics are, meaning my call numbers, and, you know, we'll go from there, meaning we'll fire you. So, no stress. And so I'm upset because, one, I really need that insurance because it looks like I am going to have to go on disability, which I absolutely do not want to. But I need the sale there, or I need the insurance to go do whatever it is that I need to do to get the stuff that I need to get to file for disability. And but I can't take time off of work because I'm basically on probation for missing work. So I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do? So I've essentially just accepted that, like, you know, and I believe in the power of positive thinking, blah, 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 but I'm also a realist. I'm real as fuck, right? And I have tried, and I just know I'm not going to meet the metrics of 150. I worked till 8 p.m. last night, and I still only made 104 calls. And my boss told me, he was like, I don't want you doing that. I don't want you doing that. And of course, yay me, I started crying on the phone to my boss. That's great. That makes me feel so good. Because I just had it. It was like, because I've gone and looked at the other guy's numbers. They are making calls that are like 2 seconds long. And then, boom, another one. So they're doing like 2 and 3 calls per minute with no minutes in between. So there's like, boop, 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 boop. They're not building rapport. They're not going through the speech. They're like, is the general manager there? No. Okay, thank you, bye. Going on to the next one, right? Where I'm like, hi, my name is Heather, and I'm calling from blah, blah, blah. And I was hoping I could speak to blah, 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 or blah, blah, blah. Oh, really? Okay. Well, thank you so much. Da, 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 da. You know, again, trying to build rapport. Because even if it's not the decision maker, I want everyone in that building to be like, oh my God, I love Heather. Oh my God, please buy the software from Heather. Oh my God, da, da, da. Because their employees have input. And their employees, I have sold things just purely based on the fact that somebody else in the company loved me. Okay, so this is just how I work. I'm not saying it's the best work. I'm not saying I'm the best salesperson in the world, but I can feel proud about the way I sell. Because I don't feel like I am pushing myself on people. People hate that. And I just never want to be that person. And I am successful selling my way. So, you know, it may not be your version of success, but if I'm bringing in the business, then who gives a fuck about how many calls I'm making? Except for, you know, Matt's thinking is, well, if you did, you know, 75 calls for the entire month of February and you made 8 sales, if you made 150 calls, you could have made 16 sales. It doesn't work that way, because I would not be able to be the person that I am on the phone, okay, if I was making 150 calls a day. Okay, I'm gonna be like, hey, what's your name? Bada bing, bada boom, not interested. Okay, bye. You know, and I'm not cool with that. So I'm just worried. Like, I'm worried that they're gonna fire me. I'm worried that I won't qualify for unemployment, even though, like, I've looked into this and it said you have to have worked someplace for 4 weeks to qualify, but it still feels like, how would I qualify? But also just like, I feel like a loser. I don't want to cry. I just feel like it's just so hard when you don't have autonomy with your body or your life, and choices are made for you because of your body and your life, and so some of your freedoms have been taken away, and I don't know. I'm sorry to do 2 back-to-back not happy or fun videos. I'm sorry. Not that super fun videos has ever been my thing, but I know the last one was very dark, but I thought it was very important to talk about it.